Some politics.
Think this shit.
When the politicians keep politicking before you turn to excessive drinking.
Or now.
Spend some time collectively politinkering with the show where I don't know, man. 'Cause the truth is I don't know, man. I don't know, man. No, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Hello, all the Politinkerites out there. How are you? Welcome back to Politinkering. I am your host, Sean Fau. Joining me, as always, with the glass jingle jangling and right up to his mouth as I'm about to point to him, we have Mr. Joseph Bonier.
Ayo.
Please clap.
I'm so glad you have that. I was thinking about that.
That's a great one.
I played it like 8 times in the last one, but it wasn't
I only
loud
heard
enough.
the clap part. I didn't hear
Exactly.
the please
Yeah.
clap part of Jeb. Okay.
Yeah, right on. And also jumping all over Joseph's balls there is Mr. Sean O'Brien.
Hey guys, here's my weird thing. There we go.
His was derogatory
Saw
too
that
this
shit
time,
coming.
though.
That's true. That's true.
Very true.
Fair enough.
So,
There's nothing but love here, man.
well, speak for yourself, sir.
I what?
Nothing but hatred on this
That's
side
all
of the
we
table.
have. Just hostility. That's why I have the. That's why I have the flat. It would make sense though. You guys have the half moon side.
Mhm.
My side is completely flat,
Uh,
which is weird. Like mine would be the more feminine element of it if it were, right? Curved shape. A curved shape has more feminine. Like a scythe. A scythe? Is it a scythe or a scythe?
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
a sickle.
yeah.
Scythe or scythe?
I never really thought of.
Scythe.
It is scythe.
I think so.
So, like, in symbiotics, as far as like the study symbols, a scythe,
not
a
a
curved,
symbiotic relationship.
right? No,
Okay.
semiotics. No B. Did I pronounce it B?
I heard it be.
I heard it be.
It's a scotch. Sorry.
Scotch.
A curved shape
Mm.
has like a more feminine defensive end to like a scythe or something like that. Whereas a long spear, not spear. I'm sorry. A sword is penetrative, so it's more male.
Valid. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess that brings us nicely into our topic today, gentlemen.
Oh fuck. Okay. What?
What do words mean?
Oh man, I wish I had studied. I don't know.
So, I mean,
Oh, this is that one.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Fuck me.
yeah.
I mean, how
forgot.
do you adequately express yourself? Is language fluid? Is it organic? Should it change over time? Should we allow those changes? Should it be rigid? Should we stick to the dictionary and not allow slang? At what point does slang become part of the common vernacular? And then at what point does that slang then become part of what we just talk about? When do we accept the commonality of words and when do they become unhip?
This episode's either going to be 15 minutes long or 3 hours long.
Yeah, I agree.
When is communication acceptable?
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I don't know why you're looking at me.
This communication
You're
is
the one who
not
asked the
going well.
question.
Yeah. So, Mr. Bonier,
Sure.
what do words mean?
They mean what you're trying to say.
So the intent?
Yeah,
Okay.
overall.
So,
How do you decipher what the intent is, though?
Tone. And also,
so the word doesn't mean anything.
Right, so then words are meaningless.
I think they're a part of it. The tone plays a role, right?
Why?
Because you need to obviously describe the specific thing that you're talking about.
Well, I guess.
If I say, oh, go ahead.
So, and break it down. What is the ultimate goal of words in general?
To express ourselves.
Express yourself.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, communication, right? And communication is getting an idea from one person to another. So how do we decide on what are going to be acceptable words? How do we decide on, when we're grunting in a cave there, where does that agreement come that ugh means this thing that I beat you over the head with?
Over time. I mean, as far as philosophically
Like time and a
speaking,
half.
right? As far as philosophically speaking, it's obviously just the study of semantics, right? So it's not just what the word is; it's what the word is pointing to. So there's the idea of the dog, and then there's the finger that is pointing to the word that means the dog is just the sound that we make that means pointing to this thing that we classify as a quote unquote dog. But it's just that canine 4-legged animal. So it's the sound that we make is meaningless. Words don't have meaning; they have shared understanding. If we were French, we'd be saying chien. If we were Spanish, we'd be saying perro, right? I don't know any other words for dog in any other languages. I apologize. That's all I know.
Kelev.
Kelev. Is that Hebrew?
Correct.
Cool. What's the difference between Hebrew and Yiddish?
Yiddish is a European language, which is a combination of Hebrew, German, Polish, I think.
Okay,
And
cool.
Hebrew is just simply a modern take on the biblical Hebrew.
Cool. So yeah, I don't think words have inherent meaning. They have shared understandings.
Yeah, an interesting specificity there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean that is
We're 10 minutes in.
yeah something I would actually.
We got 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay.
No, unfortunately, just yeah, I do agree with that. To me, the idea is that yes, another
famous
classic
Politinkering
agreement.
I love those agreements. I live for them.
Yeah, I do think that, if whatever the word is, if the person saying it and the person hearing it both understand what that is referencing, then that is valid communication. Being dyslexic, I tend to feel the same about spelling. As long as, the word is there and communicating the intent, then I have spelled it correctly, regardless of what the dictionary tells me.
Oh, that's interesting. You mentioned that in a different episode at some point. You are dyslexic.
I
didn't know if you were joking. 'Cause it was
No.
I think it was like something art is a 4-letter word,
Oh, yeah.
which makes sense to you because you were dyslexic was the joke you said. That's the art episode, obviously. Then, what's that
callback.
like? Can you describe that to us? Is that a rude question? I don't know.
No, it's just
okay.
I have no perspective. So
Right, that's what I meant.
It's hard to
Compare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the best understanding that I've been able to kind of put together is from there's this term for the idea of being able to read without hearing the words in your head. So when
Oh, okay.
so it's
Oh, there's a term for that?
yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember
That's
what it
just
is,
speed
unfortunately.
reading. Honestly, that's just the technique for speed reading.
No, because people that read really fast can still, some of them do hear those words in their head.
Yeah,
so
but
there's
when
that translation period.
Yeah, but you do both. I mean, over time, you sort of train. You can do like true speed reading. You don't hear it. You are just you kind of just have to. It's weird too because like it takes time to get used to. And what you're getting used to actually is the silence in your fucking head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really uncomfortable. So that's what you're comparing it to. It's just that like you're just looking at the word and you understand the understanding, or you understand what it is. Is it like colorblindness in a way then?
No. It's nothing about understanding. It's about translating the symbols into the concept.
That's what I mean. Okay.
So it's like an extra step that my brain has to go through to rectify that information into something that is useful.
Does the thing can I have Post-its?
Yeah.
Does the thing change? So like if I write down, I'm going to write down a couple letters.
He is writing down something right now.
Is there any way to describe like what that is?
Yeah, I mean, something as simple as CAT, cat, which
Right.
you've written down. That is, well, I'll tell you the big thing there is most of the letters are, Jesus Christ, what's the goddamn word? The same on both sides.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Got it. Symmetrical. Thank you.
Jesus fucking Christ. Goddamn retard. But yeah, I can say that because I am technically classifiable as a retard being dyslexic.
So the words look symmetrical.
No, the letters are symmetrical,
Right,
so there's no
letters.
way to fuck it up. One of the big things I had when I was a child is the difference between nines and P's. In the middle, when writing
Sure.
words out, I would write nines instead of P's or P's instead of nines when I
Okay.
was writing numbers, writing them backwards and forwards. That seems to have subsided slightly in my older age, just from constant berating. But beyond that, I mean, one of my genius teachers' idea was to take a postcard and write a 9 and write a P right next to each other, but there was no context on the card, so I still didn't know which was which, and it didn't really matter. But getting back to trying to describe it, it's like. Yeah,
So cat appears symmetrical to you.
no, it's not that it's symmetrical. It's that the letters are symmetrical, so I can't reverse them. If I do reverse them, then they're still the same fucking
I
letter.
understand what
So
you
like when you have
mean.
D's and B's and shit like that, things tend like a big thing about dyslexia that people usually leave off the table is the right and left. I still have to think about right and left. Anytime someone says turn right or turn left, I have to like process in my brain, okay, which side is right, which side is left,
Got it.
Yeah, so like that's,
I don't think that's necessarily dyslexic, by the way.
that's a characteristic of.
Oh, okay. I think other people have that, by the way.
Yeah, no,
I don't
yeah.
think it's okay.
Directional dyslexia.
I see what
Essentially,
you mean,
it's
okay.
So
you
then
don't
it's the-
necessarily have to have it associated with writing
I see.
dyslexia, but it is a subset.
So this other one on top is harder.
Yes, certainly. It takes me a minute, or not a minute, but it takes me more to decipher that, and I literally have to go through letter by letter, BRAKE, and assemble that into break. I can't look at that word and just know that that's break like I understand most people can.
Got it. Wow. That's really fascinating. Okay.
Am I correct in that assumption or that
Yes.
understanding that
Yes.
most
Oh
people
yeah,
can just
yeah.
look
Most
at
people
that
will just
word
look at it and understand it.
You can
in-
flash something on the screen for less than a millisecond or something, and most people will be able to read it immediately from the recognition of the word.
Right, and so you can see that word break and picture a car brake in your head, or picture someone stopping, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whereas
or also
I-
just hear the sounds sometimes too. Some people are more auditory about it.
Right.
So they would just hear
Well, I
that.
guess that's where I was going. Whereas I have to look at that, I have to kind of sound it out, and then the word portion of my brain has to translate that to the audio portion of my brain,
Wow.
and
Okay.
then I can translate that to the visual portion of my brain.
That's
so it's
really
just like-
fascinating.
Okay,
It's-
so I
it's
have
a processing.
I have a
skit.
little fact checking here. I did a Wikipedia search.
Right on.
Subvocalization or silent speech
there we go.
is the internal speech typically made when reading. It provides the sound of the word as it is read. This is the natural process when reading, and it helps the mind to access meanings, to comprehend and remember what is read, potentially reducing cognitive load. Interesting.
Which
There it is. Subvocalization.
exactly.
Subvocalization.
And I
Interesting.
would classify that as something I am incapable of doing. I might be able to achieve with massive amounts of training,
Right,
but I have
yeah.
many steps to get there to be normal before I could achieve speed reading.
Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, interesting. That obviously plays into why you don't enjoy reading in the first place.
Oh yeah, certainly. It's just too much work.
How about books on tape?
Awesome.
Okay.
That's a big reason why I got into radio and why talk radio always appealed to me, because I am a vociferous consumer of information. I do, like to be informed. I like to know what's going on, but I also don't like to read. So if I was born before radio, I probably would have been a really boring gentleman. Not that I'm entertaining now, but
We think so. You have 2 shows, dude.
Yay.
You have 2 podcasts.
Which I try and talk as little as possible on the other one. Or at least it's less possible with Mr. Wheelman.
I guess that's true. That's part of it. That's part of it.
You're the subvocalization of that podcast.
Indeed.
Joey,
yeah.
do you like to read?
I do like to read, although I don't do it as much as I'd like. I recently bought a book, but I do my reading very selectively. Like I'll read like 1 book a month or something like that. I read
That's
constantly
still
online.
not bad.
It's not
Mm.
bad, but it's not like how I should. Like my dad reads every night. Like he
Mhm.
reads like 30 minutes a night to put himself to sleep. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm more like the guy that you said before, the auditory person. I love listening to stuff. I'm obsessed with music. I have to have something in my ear holes at all times. So that's one of the reasons why me and Sean listen to a lot of podcasts, same kind of thing. I have to be listening to something. I
Mhm.
get bothered if I'm listening to silence. I
Oh
can't.
God, yeah.
I can't deal with it. So yeah, that's probably probably why I prefer, listening to talk radio or podcasts as opposed to reading. But when I do read, I read pretty well. I have good reading comprehension. I was like pretty good in school about reading. I didn't like in school the over-analysis of, and what's interesting is that even before in our previous podcast when we did that analysis of Shakespeare,
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. But no, serious, I really did love it.
Cool.
I would if we had English class like that, I would have loved it. But we did like To Kill a Mockingbird, and we just talked about the same stupid plot lines all over and over again. I didn't like it, which is a shame because it ruined some of my favorite books. Anyways, the point is, I guess the over-analysis of words when I was younger was absolutely horrible. But now when I look back at it, I wish I think I took it for granted. I like it now. I would love to analyze another book or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I do want to point out is don't take the dyslexia to mean that comprehension is affected. It's really just speed.
Right.
So it takes like me longer to read something,
Right.
but based on the tests that I've done, my comprehension is much higher though as well.
Right.
So because
That's apparent.
yeah,
I'm serious. I'm not fucking around. I'm serious.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
You're a smart guy. You're obviously a smart guy.
that's
I know you're self-abasing and you hate this right now.
Yeah, man,
you're so
that's-
uncomfortable.
This is
Sounds like
beautiful to look
cringing
at.
right now.
I wish we could have a camera right now.
One compliment, the guy crumbles.
yeah, I'm a horrible human being. Don't
be
forget
silly.
it.
You got it. I won't.
We'll
I
keep it that way.
promise.
Right. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the sort of general trend with most dyslexics is that it is it's just harder, so you stay away from it.
Right.
Which is why I disagree with Adam Carolla's assessment that he was just didn't learn to read. I think there is a reason that he didn't learn to read.
You think he's a learning disability?
Yeah, certainly. Whether or not it's classifiable or has been classified, I'm sure that there is something that prevents that.
But do you think that specifically it could happen if you maybe didn't learn how to read in that specific time period when you're in your a forming mind, maybe 4 to 5 to 6 or something like that? That it is possible.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Well, I
it
don't understand the
certainly
question.
holds you
Is it
back.
possible to just not learn how to read?
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
that once you get past 5, if you haven't learned to read,
Right.
you're just not going to, whether or not you
Right.
have any mental disability or learning
Right, I see.
disability whatsoever. I don't. No, I don't really subscribe to that because people learn new languages all the time. I mean, it's something that is, it seems to be fairly inherent in humanity that that language skill is something that can be developed. The one point though that I would make sort of contrary to that is that reading hasn't been something that has been required for most of our civilization. It's only been about the last, since the printing press. So the last
Right.
couple hundred years where being able to read is something that has been, a requirement for daily society.
Right.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's really a requirement that much. I mean, even Adam Carolla talks about how it wasn't a big deal when he's driving, right? He could read signs and stuff like that. It's about when he became a famous celebrity that he had to read cue cards.
Totally.
And he couldn't read like commercials and spots for radio, so he didn't understand how to do it. So it's most people probably wouldn't have to do it in their daily life unless you had that specific task.
I'm sorry. So Adam Carolla can't read? Is that what's going on?
He has trouble reading.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
kind of learned how to read over time, but he said when he started in MTV or something, he couldn't read cue cards.
Wow. Okay.
Basically, right?
Well, I
Am I
yeah.
misquoting? Yeah.
No, that sounds right.
Well, I can join both of these ideas in the sense of the the meaning, like digging into the meaning, and then the what do words mean in your sense. Sean, do you think words mean different things to you, not intellectually speaking, but emotionally?
Mm.
Like when you actually look at a word, does it resonate the same way as it does for most people?
The word itself, probably not. I have to transfer that into
An intellectual process in the first place.
Yeah. Once it's processed into a sound, and then once it's processed into a visualization, then I can have a connection with it. But the word on the paper itself, I don't think I have that connection to.
So in the meaning sense, it means struggle. It means fuck this fucking piece of shit symbol. It
Words in
means-
general, yeah, certainly that is.
So it has a different meaning to you than it does to me, certainly.
Um,
Actually, that's not true either. I like words. I like words.
I love words for the sound of them. I'm an auditory guy, so I love
Yeah.
hearing the words in my head. There's a reason why I like saying cellar.
What's your
or-
favorite word? I was just gonna say.
Everyone
Okay.
said cellar door was supposedly one of the nicest things to say.
cellar door.
I-
Sure.
I mean, there's a ton I like saying. I love all the onomatopoeic type of words.
Sure.
I was thinking just about a bands I love. I was thinking The Clash. I love saying Clash.
Clash is onomatopoeic, I think.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know why.
Onomatopoeic, I think.
Yeah, sorry if I mispronounced that word.
do either of you have a degree of synesthesia?
I don't know what that means.
But I might.
Okay.
What does that mean?
This is common with, artists, as much as I hate to use that term, but musicians very
Craftsmen.
much so. Yeah.
Oh, the
creative
seeing colors?
craftsman.
Is that what this
Well,
is?
yeah, all of that. So
Yeah, you have a
anytime
connection
one
to it.
sense is reversed or connected to another sense. So sometimes it's like hearing a word and tasting something.
Right.
Sometimes it's like seeing a color and hearing musical notes. Sometimes it's hearing a musical note and seeing colors.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just any sort of sensation that gets crossed in the brain with one another?
I think I do with music, with certain bass and treble sounds. I think I associate them with specific colors of the rainbow, but I don't know how.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I would say the blue spectrum is bass, and the red, orangey stuff, and the yellow stuff is treble.
That's weird. I would think the opposite for some reason.
I know. I don't know why I
like
do that.
bass is
I
usually
might,
red
I might
for me.
reverse it. I might reverse it. I don't know why. I bet there's like some people out there.
You're synesthetically dyslexic.
I might be. I don't know why. Yeah, I guess that's kind of how I visualize that. I don't know, that's weird. But yeah, I don't know if that's really the way I think about words, but something is definitely pleasing about them. Whether it's a shitty, horrible, even like a word like genocide. That's like maybe the worst word there is, but like
It's not a bad word, though.
sounds
Yeah,
pretty nice
no,
to
it's
say.
nice.
Exactly.
melodious.
On itself, it's got
And
that
it's
sort
very
of
interesting the way it's said.
But
you know,
again, back
it's-
to the meaning.
It's got a
we can-
prefix. It's got a suffix kind of
It's
thing.
our shared It's our shared meaning of what that word means. I
Yeah.
mean, you can change the intentionality of a word pretty easily over time, and it happens all the time.
Right.
And that's again back to blaming the printing press for shit. You know,
The pretty
the idea that our language and our rules for language, the original American dictionary, is basically, from my understanding, written to piss off the British. So we just kind of arbitrarily selected some differences between our English and their English,
Mhm.
and then sort of instilled that as the basis for what we would call American English. But it is all, you know, sort of arbitrary. You know, the spelling of color and color, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Color.
Color.
Favor it.
Yeah,
Color.
exactly.
Favor.
Kahlua? I could go for
Favor.
some Kahlua.
Kalula.
Aluminium.
Yeah, but
Aluminium.
I mean, at what point is it arbitrary? But then at what point does it get just instilled because of our technology?
Well, it's never necessarily arbitrary, or it's never neither. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't know if it's necessarily arbitrary or intended.
Well, there was a time when you would intentionally try to if you were writing a letter, you would
Yeah, I
intentionally try
guess.
to never spell the same word twice in that same letter. So you would use the word again, but you would spell it a different way to show, you know, sort of creativity and higher brow thinking.
That's a thing. I'd never heard that before.
Really? It's definitely a thing I've heard of.
Really?
From a few sources, but yeah, that is.
I don't not believe you.
Right on. Yeah, no, I mean that's my understanding of the way language was used before the codification of the American dictionary.
Interesting. Cool. Okay. Speaking of which, by the way, what's your favorite letter? Do you guys have a favorite letter?
The Scarlet.
So A.
I
A's a
don't
good
know. I
letter.
don't-
It's
I
a
never
big,
thought of
bold
that.
letter.
A is a wonderful uppercase or lowercase. Do you know why there's
Mm.
differences in those two? By the way,
Why the shape issues are weird?
exactly why
No
they
idea.
always do that.
I just assumed it was
Why?
some sort of
It's a
typesetting
question of
thing.
runes. It's the letters. Basically, our language is a mixture of Germanic and Romance languages.
Mm.
Okay, so sometimes we'll pull letters from the Germanic runes, right? So A is the uppercase A is a rune letter,
No.
where the lowercase A is, I believe, a Romance letter. So it's derived more from Latin and hence Greek. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. That's basically why they have different shapes.
Hmm.
I think, I could be wrong. That's a factoid I heard or read at some point somewhere. I have no idea how to reference it, and I could be totally wrong.
That-
But I
but
said it with such conviction. You guys believe the
But
shit out
all
of me,
these
so.
shapes are very.
Arbitrary?
No, they're not arbitrary.
Oh.
They're very continuous throughout the entire world. I mean, like you can look at like the Aleph Bet is the Hebrew.
Sure,
like that might-
absolutely.
and it's obviously supposed to alpha beta.
You
know
are
what I mean?
right, but the English language as we know it didn't derive from the Hebrew language, as far as I understand.
No, I don't think it did. Right?
No, but
I don't think so.
No,
no.
you know more than me, dude.
Oh. But you would know on the Hebrew end.
I'm just curious about
The
like.
Hebrew end is
the fact that
those are
Hebrew-
based on the Arabic,
and
that
also-
was in the whole Arabic side.
Yeah, exactly. So those languages. seem
Hence
to-
why they read from
Yeah.
right to left instead of left to right.
Even outside of individual differences, why can't we agree on names of things? Why do we still insist on calling it Germany when they call it Deutschland? Why?
It's just the languages. It's not an insistence. It's a difference of language. It's the way we speak. But it means the same thing.
Germany just means the land of the Germanic tribes.
Right.
It's,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and so I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
but Deutsch is German, though. It's the same thing.
I'm sorry.
In German, right? Deutsch means the same thing that we are talking about, people of that land.
Right. It's two separate words that are indicating the same place on a map.
Sure.
But I guess my question is if we go somewhere and they call it something, why would we call it something else?
I see.
Deutschland
Right.
is certainly a word that fits within our language,
Sure.
within something that we can pronounce and say.
It's a fair point. I think. I mean, I can go into the history of why, but it's a more interesting argument to talk about. That you've hit on is pretty cool. Ultimately, what comes out of it, I guess, is here. Let me put it this way: whenever you go to France, right,
Mhm.
it's a little bit rude for you not to be speaking French, or at least
Sure.
give it a try,
Yeah.
right?
That seems like any country, though.
Wait, really? I was told that if I gave it a try and fucked it up, they would hate us.
No,
No.
it's the opposite. Like
I was always afraid to try French because
No,
I thought
so
they
it's
would
funny.
fuck me up.
So it's like this. I used to tell this story from the first person, but I've just in the
You've remembered your liar, and
exactly
you weren't actually there.
exactly in the interest of full disclosure, it's not. It's third party. It was a guy who told me about a friend of his.
Well,
this
if you
girl
bought
who
the
was in
joke, you can say it in first
I know.
person.
I'm sorry. I just want to be honest to my snowflakes. That's all. And to you guys.
Politinkers, rise up against
Why,
the snowflakes.
why do we have different words?
You
Or
are
are they
lying.
actually different things?
No, we have different factions. These are
Oh, they are
required words.
factions. Okay, got it. You got to pick a team.
Yeah, man.
You gotta
can't
pick
be
a
a
team?
snowflake and a politinker.
For the record,
Wait,
tinks can
can't
be
you?
either. They can be anything. You guys can do whatever you want. I don't have any rules for you guys.
I'm putting up a wall. You cannot
Snowflakes
call
can be-
yourself a politinker and
Snow-
identify with the snowflakes.
There you go. Okay, snowflakes by nature can be anything, but only politinkers can be. This is awesome. This story goes: there was a girl who was in line at a bag shop, whatever the fuck, trying to buy a purse. And there were
Prada.
these two, sure, whatever. There were these two kind of really rude American girls talking blah blah blah, and they were talking to each other. And they get up to the shopkeeper and they're trying to say, "I want to buy this, but I have a quick question." And the woman behind the counter was just like, "I don't know
Oh, we're in France?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Je parle anglais. Je parle anglais. She's like, I don't speak English, blah, blah, blah. And was I got really fucking annoyed with them and started to like yell at them in French. And the two girls were like, "Oh, fuck this," and they left. And so the girl, my friend's friend, kind of like walks up really meekly and puts the counter on there and like pulls out her dictionary to look. She's like, "Je," and then the merchant basically puts her hand on the dictionary. She's like, "Oh, sweetie, you don't need to worry about that." Like in perfect English. And she's like, "Oh, okay." So no, the long ass fucking answer to your question is no, it's fine. If you like give it a try, it's fine. But it's also a question of like time. So I remember when I was in France, that's when I used to smoke cigarettes. I was walking by and a guy comes up to me. He's like, "Briquette." And I'm like, "Quoi?" Like, "Briquette."
He wants a baguette?
I didn't understand what he was saying.
He wants to have sex with
I'm like,
you,
"What?" And
Sean.
he's like, "A light." I'm like, "Oh, sure, yeah, oui. Bien sûr." And so it's not that he was like mad at me. He's just like, I need a fucking lighter for my cigarette. Just give it to me, dude. I'm sorry you don't speak my language. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad because I need a cigarette
Totally.
and I just need to get on with my day. You know what I mean? And that's the other funny thing too. A lot of people say like the French are assholes, but if you go to New York, it's just a city. Like if you go to Paris, yeah,
People
they're
are
kind of
assholes.
assholes.
Yeah.
You go to fucking New York, they're assholes.
People
This
got
is the way
shit
it
to
works.
do, man.
People got shit to do. They don't have time for your bullshit, man. Like, get out of my fucking way. I'm trying to eat a sandwich right now if you're in Paris, or I'm trying to eat a sandwich if you're in New York.
We like sandwiches. That's the point.
Oh, don't get me started on sandwiches.
Uh-oh.
What do you? Okay, first of all,
Don't
What is
get
a
him
sandwich to
started.
you?
Oh, no.
let's start there.
God,
Define
this-
to me what a
God,
sandwich is to
Jesus.
you.
Okay.
Oh, we're not going to do the other thing, the wrap burrito. Is that what you thought
No,
I
I
was going
just
to do?
assume we're going into hot dogs and hamburgers and
Oh
Hot-
god damn!
hot,
We
cold
fucking
sandwiches?
can. Holy shit! I guess we are. We
Oh,
very
wow.
well
Oh,
might.
no. What if we
But
stepped in?
I wasn't trying to go there, but we might. I mean, this is the episode to do it. But wow, we are going to go there. I can feel it bubbling up inside me like a Scottish burp
I'm pretty hungry, I'll tell you
I didn't
that.
think that was
or a
stoppable.
Scottish burp.
But my definition of a sandwich is shit between bread.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
got it. Shit between bread.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want me to get you started on sandwiches?
Oh no, I have a thing with paying for sandwiches specifically.
Okay, why?
This is completely unrelated to what
That's
we're talking
okay.
about.
We'll
But
go. Let's go on a tangent.
no,
Take me there, Sean.
like
I'm glad this is going on record, by the way. I've had this argument with Sean many times off mic, just letting you know.
I think
Go
I've
ahead.
almost convinced him though.
I don't know if I've heard it.
Basically, just that paying for cold sandwiches is a waste of time or a waste of money. If you're going to go to, let's say, a Subway or something like that, and get a cold sandwich, you can just as easily and probably 4 times cheaper go to the grocery store and get a roll and get some meat and get a piece of cheese and
Sure.
put it all together yourself for.
Sure. Let me try. That's the basis of the argument, right? Do you
That's
have more?
the basis. No, my exception is that I will pay for hot sandwiches.
Okay, cool. So we'll set that aside for a second.
Right
You said it's a waste of time and money.
Mhm.
I certainly agree it's a waste of money, perhaps,
Mhm.
because it's certainly more expensive to buy the Subway sandwiches than it would sandwich to buy. For the same money, you'd essentially be able to buy,
5 sandwiches.
yeah,
Yeah.
more or less a whole baguette and a
Mhm.
whole big thing of fucking turkey.
Mhm.
I don't know if I agree with you at the time. It takes a fucking shitload longer to go and get the baguette, cut up the baguette, put all the fucking shit, go home. You know what I mean? You got to travel, you got to find a place to do it, you got to have the whatever. I think it's more time consuming to do all that when in the end all you just want is a fucking sandwich. and
If you
somebody
were
can
the
make it
type of
for you.
person that planned ahead for things, you would actually save time by making your sandwiches at home, and you go to the store once and then you make 5 sandwiches.
That's
and
still
you
the
eat for
amount of
week.
time, though.
No, it's certainly not anything that I would do. Like I said, I'm just a cheap bastard, and I have an aversion to paying.
I agree
that
with
much.
you that it's a waste of money. I don't think it's a waste of time.
Sean-
That's the thing.
Sean, do you change your own oil in your car?
I have been known to, but that is actually one of those weird things where I have actually found it to be more advantageous at this point in my life to do that. When I was making less money, it was worth my time to change my own oil. But now at the magnificent salary that I bring home, it's gotten to that point where the amount of money and the amount of time that I would have to spend doing it is offset by the
I see.
convenience.
So your time is now more valuable.
The funny thing is,
Exactly,
the
yeah.
philosophical distinction you've made then there for your sandwiches is the heating process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
That extra time period
Mhm.
is what makes it
The
worth
10
it.
seconds in a
The
Subway
effort.
microwave
Yeah,
is okay.
basically.
That's the thing.
Literally,
I will
that's
get a
the
steak and
distinction.
cheese from Subway. I will not get a
Right.
Right.
So there is a time factor for you that if you're saving more time, you'd be willing to pay that extra money for it.
Right. Yeah.
Which is
'Cause
fine. And I would
if I was
almost
to go
argue,
home and grill up my own steak, that would certainly take a lot more time. Than,
course.
Yeah.
Of course. So then, but I don't understand though. We've just agreed that it does, or maybe we haven't agreed. Does it not take more time for you to go to the store, get all the shit, prepare it, and even?
I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't have to.
Okay.
So you could do one trip to the grocery store a week. You could make your sandwich in the morning for 5 minutes or whatever it is,
Sure.
rather than get in your car, drive to Subway, stand in line, get your food, and actually be able to eat it.
Sure.
You can pull out your sandwich and eat it within 10 minutes, and you're done with that whole lunch experience.
Is there not an element of immediacy to it? Is there any point where you just crave a sandwich so much where that time period where it would take for you to go to the store, get all this shit, and do all that stuff, it's like, is that never offset?
I've never craved a sandwich.
You've never craved a sandwich.
Yeah,
Okay, cool,
yeah.
got
A
it.
cold sandwich is just, not that appealing to me.
It's
in the first
insane, by
place,
the way,
so-
for this Jewish person to ever hear that kind of bullshit. How dare you insult cold sandwiches?
I fucking sandwiches are arguably I guess they are my third favorite food.
If it's an Italian beef sandwich, I'm all about it. But it's
God.
yeah, and screw your Philly bullshit, guys.
Through our Philly bullshit. What do you mean?
Your Philly cheesesteaks, nothing compared to a Chicago cheesy beef.
What is the
Fuck you
difference
all.
between those two?
How many people would ever say this bullshit? Are you kidding?
What is
me?
the
Anyone
difference
from
between those two
Chicago,
things?
anyone
Of
that's ever
course.
been to Chicago.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
Chicago people, by the way, would also say like
Yeah,
Chicago
like, everyone-
pizza
I'm
is
sure-
much better than
about our
regular
I'm
food.
sure
pizza.
everyone wants
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Chicago cheesy beef
It's not
over
that
a
you
Philly
guys are
cheesesteak.
weird about your. It's
Yeah.
what's worse is it's not that you're weird about your food. It's that it's like
We're very
you
specific
are the
and
ones that are
protective.
different. Like you guys are the ones that are different, which is fine. Like we're okay with you
We're
embracing
right.
it. That's the difference exactly. We're like, look, this is fucking better. It's and everyone's like, fine, dude, it's cool. You're the only ones who think that, and you're like, well, good.
That's why
And
we
you're
have
like,
to call
but
it a
wait, you're
Chicago
like-
pizza. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't think it's quote unquote pizza. I think it's just a pizza pie.
That's
It's
yeah,
a pie.
that-
It's a cheese pie.
Yeah, or a quiche or no quiche would be
It is
eggs,
it is a
but,
quiche in a way. It's fine. I mean, you're right. It's not-
casserole, I think, is what Wheeler wanted to call it.
It's just a
but,
pie, dude. It's
yeah,
a pie.
pizza
like
pie.
it's a pizza. It's a cheese pie.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, and a pizza, as we would know it, is a flatbread.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Mm.
It's not
Fucking
a
difference.
pie. It doesn't have a crust like a pie.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does
crust.
have a pie.
It's exactly
It
like
has a
pie.
crust.
It has a crust, but not a pie crust.
Yes,
Not-
it
not
does.
a
It
top
has
crust.
right.
But it's got the bottom like a pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Same sort of
Or
coverage.
pecan pie.
Yeah.
Or
Pecan.
lemon meringue pie. Pecan is fucking
Pecan.
pecan.
All right.
Pecan
Caramel.
pie. Pecan pie.
Caramel.
You say caramel?
No, I say caramel.
Right, yeah, me too. Okay, caramel.
Caramel.
But it all means the same thing?
It does.
Oh,
mean
it
the same
does
thing.
not mean the same thing. I think caramel, there is a difference between caramel and caramel.
I don't think so.
believe.
I don't think so.
Look it up then.
I will.
homeboy.
Yeah, I'm
By
pretty
the way,
sure that's
hold
just
on.
a.
I want
Is it
to ask you guys,
intonation.
how do
Okay.
you say these three words?
Okay.
M-A-R-Y, M-A-R-R-Y, M-E-R-R-Y.
all the same.
That's insane. Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
I think the first was Mary, and then the second one was Mary, and then the third one was Mary.
Correct.
We're
Okay.
gonna get married to a chick named
I
Mary.
think that was
and
tough.
we're gonna have a Merry Christmas. It's all the same.
What?
Well,
There are three.
There,
Okay.
see, so now we actually get back on topic. Although I really want to have a conversation about sandwiches.
No one's
Hang on,
stopping you.
no, you know what? Well, I'm stopping me, but I'm not going to stop me just
We
because
should
the
table
other me
this
is more
sandwich
interested.
conversation.
No, we're not. I'm going to fucking talk about it right now, but I do need to write down the Mary problem.
The Mary connection.
Mary?
There's something about Mary.
Marry.
Okay,
see,
so-
that bugs me. That East Coast pronunciation of marriage, Mary. That I don't know.
Excuse
for some
me,
reason,
Mary?
Excuse me
yeah.
for pronouncing the
Like
A.
when you marry,
No.
that's the two R's, you mean?
Yeah,
There's
it's just
two
it seems
Rs.
like an over pronunciation to me. They're all the same fucking word.
There's two
Why would they
R's.
be the same word? They're spelled differently. That's
Well, don't go there.
Yeah,
And then-
the fuck do I know?
and then-
Because obviously there are many words that are
Yeah.
spelled the same. that
Yeah,
have two
but
different
they're
meanings,
meant
two different
to-
things.
know,
They're
it's-
homophones.
Read and read.
It's good that they're three different things. They mean different things. I don't like homophones. Fuck that. They're confusing.
Oh no, I'm not a fan of homophones. I'm just saying they are.
Let's have
And
distinct.
it's also not homophones. It'd be the opposite. What's
Um,
the other thing? Because a homophone is when two words sound the same.
but it's spelled differently.
Oh, never mind. So yeah, we are talking the same.
Homonyms.
Oh no, you were. So it's not. It's the opposite. It's that they. Never mind. Whatever. I don't know where I am.
Yeah,
Well, you want to
English
talk about
major.
sandwiches. I'm sorry. Let's talk
I
about
do.
sandwiches.
I'm just there, and it's going to be a 6-second thing. I promise.
Go for it.
But so many people have this argument, which is ridiculous to me because it seems pretty apparent as far as what the words mean. Right. You said a sandwich is anything between two slices of bread.
Oh, gosh.
Right. I agree with you. I'm on board with that.
Mhm.
100%. And
I like that you're taking this so seriously. This is like the most serious topic we've ever talked
I
about.
get. I mean, sure, but people always fucking argue with that. And I have
Sure.
I have a whole tirade on
Yeah,
burrito
this is
versus
one of his
wraps.
specific soapboxes.
I have a
like-
whole burrito versus wraps thing that I'm not going to go in. Have you never heard this?
I don't think
I used
so.
to do it at work all the fucking time. I
Wow.
used to go into it because I was actually genuinely curious, and I will do it afterwards. Fuck it, I'll do it afterwards.
Wait, hold on.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, let's hear the first
Yeah.
one.
We are going to, sir. A sandwich is anything between two slices of bread. So if you take a slice of bread, put it on, the ground here, and take a slice of bread, put it
Put
on
it
the
in
ground
China.
on the other side in China, you made a world sandwich.
Totes.
Now it may be completely
Better be a big piece
ridiculous.
of bread.
Yeah, I mean it may be. No, it
You
doesn't
remember
have
that
to be.
bread from Uncle Buck when he makes the toast in the morning? Yeah, we can eat some of that together.
What's that song? Tweedlet, tweedlet, tweedlet-dee. Sorry, we can't sing that. That was pretty good.
I think it was off key enough to not have to
I
pay
was
for it.
shaking my head.
I was on cue as a motherfucker. So it might be sort of absurd and ridiculous to claim it as such, but it is a world sandwich. So good, we're on board with that. Fine, because that of course brings up the question that everybody always argues about: is a hamburger a sandwich?
Mhm.
And by extension, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, obviously a hamburger is a sandwich.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking obvious that a hamburger is a sandwich. Does anybody have an argument why it's not?
No, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a hamburger sandwich. It's a type
Yeah.
of sandwich. Sorry,
It's a hot sandwich.
if anybody disagrees with me, by all means, email Politinkering, and I'll be glad to fucking sit there and
At
write.
Gmail.
Politinkering@gmail.com. Go ahead and argue with me. It's fine. As far as a hot dog, this one gets a little bit tricky.
Mhm. Because the bread's still connected.
Bread's still connected, which is fucking insane to me, by the way. As far as I think this was Wheeler's argument.
Yeah.
A baguette is still a fucking. He was saying a sub. It becomes a sub
Mhm.
or whatever, which is just a hoagie in the East Coast. It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Still a sandwich.
Yeah.
Thank you. Still a sandwich.
Yeah.
Bread sandwich. Fine. He was like, a second you cut all the way through, it becomes a sandwich. I'm like, go fuck your fucking
He's
self.
insane.
Get
Yeah,
out of here.
Because then
Same
there's
shit.
no such thing as a sandwich shop. Like,
Exactly.
that
But
are
people do have a problem with the hot dog thing. And I think the problem becomes with the meat itself.
cylindrical meat.
Yeah, but I would say if you would be willing to consider a sausage sandwich a sandwich, because by extension a hot dog is a type of a sausage, a hot dog is a sausage sandwich.
Because
Hence the
because
sandwich.
the hot dog is pre-processed. Is that the idea? That it's not
Well, I'm just saying,
It
as
doesn't
far
make
as what
sense.
would you call a sausage? A sausage on bread.
sandwich.
All right, cool. There we go.
No one's gonna cane you, man. You can call it a sandwich.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna do this tirade on wraps and burritos. Do
Please
you guys
do.
care?
No, go for it.
Do you care?
Wait, hold on. Do we finish with hot dogs? We all agree.
Yeah,
we all agree it's a sandwich.
Because we
I mean,
agreed
I
he's
think,
done.
I think, like I said,
I
it would only
actually do
take
think
like
it's a
3
sandwich,
minutes.
but I don't think. I think there's a big argument against it, right?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's valid.
I think it's
usually
the same
it
people
always
that
falls
argue
down
that
to something
hamburger is
stupid.
in a sandwich, which
Yeah.
I would never call it a hamburger sandwich, but I can understand the semantics of it being
Yeah,
a sandwich.
I mean, we
certainly.
broke it down just with the idea of what you define as a sandwich, and if you define a sandwich as anything between 2 slices of bread, and we
Yeah.
agree
Once you agree on
to
the
the
world
absurdity.
sandwich,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have agreed to the absurdity of the world sandwich. We recognize it's absurd. It's just that's what we're calling it. It's the semantics of it, and if we can agree upon that, that's fine. If you don't want to call it, otherwise, I would need something else to understand what a sandwich is.
I have a good question now.
Go ahead.
At In-N-Out Burger, you
Sure.
can order a burger
Grilled cheese.
without the bun.
Yeah,
It's wrapped in lettuce.
Okay.
Is
That's
that a
wrap.
sandwich?
Yeah, I think so.
It doesn't have to be bread then.
I don't think it has to be bread. No,
So any material enclosed in another material is a sandwich?
arguably
technically,
yes.
yeah, an Oreo cookie is a sandwich cookie.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
very you broaden the definition, but yeah.
You're right. Well, technically, you've broadened it.
Yeah.
True.
I've been willing to
Agree.
loosen it. No, I guess I have to. Yeah, anything between 2, anything else is yeah, sure. I mean, but in a weird, it's just because I don't know what else to call that. Like, I understand that there's got to be something else more definable to it. In other words, if you take 2 pieces of meat patties and put them on top of a piece of bread, it's still a sandwich.
That's
It might be
the double
back-
down
yeah,
from KFC.
right. It's the opposite.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
The
the
bread
it's,
is sandwiched between the meat.
Yeah, sure. I mean, in the Aristotelian logic element of it is the opposite of a sandwich, but it is still a sandwich. I mean, it's just an anti-sandwich. But
So the material doesn't matter. It's just two synonymous things encasing another other thing.
kind of, yeah. I mean, if you take, I mean, then sure, then there comes into the question of the open-faced sandwich, right? Which is
Oh,
fine, but
no.
it's just you've
Yeah.
specified that it's open-faced. So to go to the absurd route, if you take a stapler and put, keys on top of it, it becomes an open-faced key sandwich on stapler. Like, I recognize the absurdity of that. It's just that that's what the word means, and I don't know what else to call that. If you want to come up with a new word for it, like Sean always does. Sean seems to be the master of, like, there's this idea of something, we need to find a new word for it because I don't like the word that currently exists. It is inadequate in defining what it is.
Okay.
So I'm fine with that. If
Most
we want to
of
come
the
up
world
with
is inadequate.
right, which is fine, man. Look, I'm totally comfortable with finding a new word for it, but currently I'm going to use the word sandwich.
Okay. All right.
Does
I
that
mean,
answer
I
your
think
question?
good. I think we got somewhere with that question. Even though, no, seriously, even though
You're
it
right.
might be a digression from a digression, but it's a valid, important.
We're going to even
argument.
digress further because, again, further versus
Ooh.
farther. Further versus farther.
Well,
See what
yeah.
I did there? There we go. Further is degree, farther is distance.
Potato. No one fucking says potato.
I know that's funny.
Does anyone say tomato?
No. You say tomato,
Yeah.
No one says
I
tomato.
say tomato.
Yeah.
Nobody says tomato. Go fuck yourself.
Pretty much.
Tomato, 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 tomato. That's what the fucking word is.
But that gets into pronunciation and stuff.
Wait, hold on. I want to talk more about catsup. Is anyone here can say catsup?
I thought
If
that
we're,
was an
we're in the
East Coast thing.
1950s, maybe.
Exactly.
we
No,
say
I've heard
cats.
people say catsup. I thought
Who
it was
the fuck
Midwest. I
says
thought it was
catsup?
Midwest. No, Sean.
No.
Damn
Yeah,
it.
I think everyone's just buck passing.
There's
like,
that pop soda thing.
Oh, Sean
Oh,
says
yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
Do you say pop?
I've tried to convert, but do I say pop?
No, you don't. You
No.
made an effort not to, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's
no,
a shame.
It's taken me a long time to stop saying it, but yeah,
You've abandoned your roots.
I have just because I don't like the funny looks and the
Yeah, it'd be
explanation
annoying. It'd be
and
annoying.
like because it's not like it's not like an accent where you're just saying a word differently.
Right.
You're saying a completely different word, which people that aren't familiar with that just are thrown off by. So it's ineffective communication.
Good point.
I don't know where I was going to go. Sorry, shit. For the record, I wouldn't have a problem with you saying pop ever.
No. I mean, to me, like I said, it's just too much
I
work.
know.
It's ineffective
It's a shame.
communication.
Yeah, it's a shame.
As a society, we have not
So,
agreed on what those words
Is
mean.
pop
Well,
eventually
we have. It's soda, but
Is the word
But,
pop?
but we haven't
I'm
agreed
kidding
that
around, I
pop
know.
is synonymous with
I
soda
know, I'm fucking around.
nationally.
I'm just fucking around.
In Chicago, where I'm from, yes, it is interchangeable.
Sure. But also pizza is a little pie thing.
I mean, that's, certainly an extremist view. Not all pizza in Chicago is Chicago style pizza.
I know, yeah, I know.
So, it's kind of.
What do you
How
prefer?
dare
What was
you
it, Uno's or
generalize
Geno's?
pizza in Chicago?
Indeed.
Was it Uno's or Geno's?
Uno's, Geno's, Lou Malnati's is.
Lou Malnati's?
Yeah, that's the other preferred one.
Is it ill?
Illuminati. Well done.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm gonna do the rap burrito thing. I
Please.
think.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's
This will
hear
be
it.
fun. This is something I used to
Nice
do.
flap.
This is something I used to do all the time, just because I was genuinely curious. And it took me a very long time to come up with this answer. But I mean, we're talking like a long time. People got annoyed with this, by the way, whenever I would bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Sean never did.
I'm excited.
Joey, what
Oh,
was
no, I was just backing him. People really got fucking annoyed.
people? Did they really?
Well,
Oh,
people,
I
you know,
love-
you-
I just wanted to
these
fucking know the
arguments.
answer. Nobody could give me the answer. Joey, what's the difference between a burrito and a wrap?
Okay. A burrito is a shit. Okay. I'll say this.
Sure.
A burrito is usually it's about the filling, I think.
Okay.
A burrito is usually filled with the traditional Mexican mixture of either beans and rice and a meat.
Okay.
A wrap is usually filled with more of vegetables, like a salad type stuff, mixed with some sort of meat, sometimes like a chicken Caesar wrap or whatever. But it's usually more mixed with vegetables as opposed to rice and beans and meat.
So what about a vegetable burrito, though?
Does
Yeah.
that exist? Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
That sounds
I
like
never
one
So
of
we
had
the
one.
take.
California
Let's just
hippie
say, for
things.
argument's sake, give me the ingredients for the wrap that you're talking about. Mostly vegetables and whatever.
2/4 flow with 3/4 mic presentation. Different type of rap.
Good.
That was really good.
That
I just wanna
was
pause
really
for
good,
that.
by the way.
Wow, I can't believe that did happen. Okay.
Good.
What's in a
That was
wrap? I'm gonna
7/4.
say lettuce.
Okay.
Some carrots.
Okay. Can the lettuce be like spinach?
It can be.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And carrots, you said?
yeah, sure. And
Are they sliced, shredded? Talk to me.
they're shredded.
Shredded. Okay. So we
Yeah.
got. All right. I'm liking this. This is a wrap currently, correct?
Obviously,
turning
we're
them on.
making a good wrap.
All right. Cool. So
I
we
like
got
some cucumbers in my wrap.
cucumbers. Okay.
All right. I like a little tomato,
Tomato. Okay.
chopped up tomato,
Cool.
diced tomato.
Got it. Sure.
I will like a little chicken actually in my wrap.
Okay.
Some white meat chicken.
Is
White
that
meat
hot
chicken.
or cold?
You
now
know,
I'd still. Here's the deal.
I
Here's
just lost Sean.
exactly.
I just
It's not that
lost-
you've lost it. Just
No.
think about it for a second. You take all these ingredients, right? We've got the spinach. Admittedly, the only reason I said spinach is because it could be synonymous, but we could arguably take whatever romaine lettuce you want to try to do too, right?
Sure.
We take all those ingredients, we throw it into a pan, we saute it. We don't have to add any spices. We'll do the exact same thing you did. We just saute it. We then pour it onto whatever tortilla you were trying to put it into, and then we roll that up. Why isn't that a burrito?
Doesn't have the rice and beans.
That seems ridiculous. Why is it just the rice and beans
Yeah,
that make it
that's
a
certainly
burrito?
not required. I've had a lot of burritos without rice
Yeah.
or beans.
It seems like
Like if you go to Chipotle, you can have the exact same ingredients I just named, and that would be.
then maybe burrito is just the Spanish word for wrap.
Well, it is, but it's not. It
It's-
actually means little donkey, I
Yeah,
believe.
That's really weird, but
Yeah.
okay. Why?
Well, this
why
whole
is little
argument,
dunk-
Because it's a little
this
package.
this
for your
argument,
food.
this argument started. To be
Oh,
honest
I
with
get
you,
it. Okay, that's
and the reason this argument started, which your Jewish brethren will be on board with me. I went to
Matzo
we're at the
burritos?
Huh?
Matzo burritos?
no.
By the way, we do make a
We
matzah
were-
sandwich at Passover.
There-
Just wanna- and there's actually a portion of the Seder called korech, which means you actually take matzah and specifically bitter herbs and what's something called, this is going to sound very Jewy, charoset. Jesus Christ.
Haroset, sure.
Yeah,
It's-
sorry. And
it's
you
the
make a
standard-
matzah sandwich. You're actually supposed to make a sandwich and say a blessing over it.
The standard hard matzah, though.
How does
like
the
a
blessing
cracker,
go?
essentially, right?
I actually forget, but you know what? I think it's just fuck. I forget. It's
Okay.
the same thing you do it for the matzah.
Pretty
I was
sure
genuinely
fuck, I
curious. I
forget.
wasn't
No,
being an
I think
asshole.
we just say like borei pri etza maybe.
What does that mean?
like-
Borei priet?
You say Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, which is pretty much every
Say
fucking
that again.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Yeah, that's like the
this
a
is
normal
the traditional blessing.
incantation, if you will.
Yes, with every
Got it.
blessing starts like that. It means like blessed our Lord. Yeah, but basically blessed our Lord or whatever like that.
Okay.
and then you say from,
Allahu Akbar.
and then the second part is like the suffix, if you will, is what specifically you're eating. Like bere priha etz means from the tree or something. Or
Okay.
you say bere priha adama from the
gland.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you say bere priha
I said
gafen.
glands.
We have bere priha gafen, which is specifically for grapes or drinking or wine.
Sure. Okay.
That's how much we love drinking in Judaism. We have a specific drinking blessing.
rad.
It's maybe the most popular best blessing, by the way.
You had a guy that was best known for turning water into wine.
Yeah, we like our drinks.
Oh,
We have to drink specifically 4 glasses of wine on Passover. It's like this is all crazy on Passover. It's all like, it's literally called an order. That's a Seder. Anyways.
Well, let me get back to what these words mean.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. That was
No,
awesome.
I thought that was kind of
Little
interesting
lesson.
with the
Fuck
sandwich.
yeah, it's important.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not kidding around. I'm being dead serious.
Okay, no, I know, but I don't want to digress from your awesome wrap / burrito.
It's not at all. It's just a
Rap.
question of, it's not awesome. It's
just
just
quickly, I'll jump in and
Sure.
say that Mr. O'Brien kind of stole my definition, but my simple definition between wrap and burrito has always been whether or not it's heated.
okay. That's another thing too. Exactly. It's just the heated. That's,
Yeah.
by the way, not my definition at all.
No, you just pointed it out, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. That's okay.
So if you did saute it, that's the
Yeah, that's
the
The second you
order for you.
saute it, it's
the
it's
second
that.
it's warmed or
Okay.
heated.
Well, now here's the problem with that.
I kind
though.
of buy it.
Does it not work the opposite direction? So in other words, if you have a bean and cheese, a nice, carne asada burrito,
Mhm.
right? Then it gets cold. Does it become a wrap?
Once it is art, it is always art.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Fair enough. It's
He does stick to his definitions. You got to give him that.
it's no. Well, we had to define what he was defining. You know what I mean? Because if it was just the heated process, but he's saying that once it was heated at a certain point.
Mhm.
So although it may have become cold, that's not any fault of the burrito. That's just nature.
It's just yeah.
It's
just
true form.
the molecules
It's
slowing
true
down.
trough form of
Right.
the burrito
Right.
is heated.
I like that,
It
yeah.
just happens to be that. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Here was what got us started on that, which is why which will kind of amp this up for you.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
We were at I guess it was either Universal or Warner Brothers Commissary, and I ordered a tuna wrap from them, and I was eating lunch with Joey. Joey's still there, right? Bedoya?
No.
Yeah.
All right, so Joey.
Long gone.
So Joey, so we're eating it. He's like, we have a tuna burrito. I was like, yeah, it's a tuna wrap. He's like, it's a burrito, man. I was like, Joey's Mexican, I think.
yeah.
Okay.
That's key to the story.
Right. Well, not necessarily. He could just be fervently defined.
It's good background information for perspective.
It is, sure. He's like, it's a burrito. I said, why? He's like, anything on a tortilla is a burrito. You can call it a wrap if you want, but it's not. It's burrito, which kind of goes to where you were saying.
Yeah.
But to my mind, at least, a tuna burrito sounds really gross.
It does.
It just sounds disgusting.
Fuck
like a tuna
that.
fish.
I'm never eating that.
Exactly. However, what if you take like kind of nice kind of
chimichanga?
exactly? No. What if you take like tuna, like ahi tuna, like
Like
really
a
nice
steak. Yeah, tuna
yeah,
steak.
like a tuna steak,
Yeah.
and you dice that up, and then you put all that, all
Like
the
a
same
fish
stuff,
taco,
right?
essentially, but yeah.
Exactly, and then you make a tuna quote burrito out of that. It's the same thing, but what I, of course, and what you in your mind thought as well was like the gross
Tuna salad
yeah,
sandwich.
tuna salad heated up burrito
Yeah,
with like
mayo
rice and
and
it sounds
celery
so
and- yeah.
disgusting. So that was where that was the impetus for this discussion as far as, so that's weird because what is the difference? Because to me, a tuna burrito sounds disgusting and sort of is disgusting. If you kind of even the second you do define a tuna burrito as a burrito, for me it seems wrong. There's something wrong about it.
I agree.
And vice versa. Like if it, a carne asada wrap is fine, I guess, but it just seems improper. Like I'm sure if I was
Yeah.
Mexican, I'd be like, that sounds stupid. Fuck that shit.
If
I
it
don't-
was in one of
yeah.
those weird green tortillas, I would probably call it a wrap. Or if it
Perhaps,
was, like,
maybe,
in
but I mean,
lettuce or something.
I guess, yeah, we get the spinach wraps, you mean?
Yeah.
And this
But
is
it's still a tortilla. Anything
uh,
that's a tortilla is there. So yeah, it's tough. Basically, what would happen is I would ask this question to somebody, and then I would play devil's advocate. Not devil's advocate. I would just retort them because I wanted to understand. It goes back to that question of like why I'm our journalism episode of why
You want the truth.
why I just want the truth. I just
Yeah.
want to know what the difference is, and it's gonna be a very long time of arguing it because people would offer these things, and everyone always said it's heated. Everyone would always say, oh, it's this, it's that. What I ultimately concluded was, I'll give you these different possibilities, right? Let's say we take pastrami, sauerkraut, and Thousand Island dressing, wrap it in a rye tortilla, heat it up. What would we call that?
Reuben. Oh, heated up, huh?
Yeah.
A Reuben burrito.
I'm trying to think of a clever name, but just a Reuben wrap's not bad.
I feel like it's a Reuben wrap.
I think that's just the phonetics of it, though, or the what do you call that? When you have the same alliteration of it. That Reuben wrap just sounds better coming off your tongue than Reuben burrito.
Well, I'll address that in a second.
Right on.
But fair point. It might be, but I feel like it's a wrap, and for some reason, just instinctively that worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a cold. Because pastrami is a cold meat.
No, it's still hot.
The
sandwich is still hot. It was a cold.
Although
yeah.
you're right, you can have hot pastrami.
Well, is a
Yeah,
Reuben sandwich normally hot or
yes,
cold?
a Reuben sandwich is hot.
Okay.
But you can have both. It could be cold pastrami is awesome.
I'm
Right,
not
but that's
suggesting
not
that, but
I
a
don't think
Reuben
that's
is
a Reuben
heated.
then.
A
Yeah.
Reuben is heated.
You're right.
That's my point. So it's the fixings for a Reuben.
But to me, the meat matters. I think.
Of course it does, and I'll answer that in a second.
And the tuna is the tuna.
Forget the tuna. Forget the tuna for a second. I'm answering the question for you.
Sorry.
The idea. No, it's fine.
No, you're right. I go back to the tuna. I should not.
We can, but I've already distinguished between the tuna salad versus the ahi tuna.
Don't let me stop you.
It's cool. It's what words mean, man. It's important. For some reason, it just felt like a Reuben wrap was a wrap. It just felt like it was a wrap, and I couldn't really distinguish why. And then I also postulated the idea of, let's say you take, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up, let's say you take ground beef, peas, carrots, mashed potatoes, right? And the kind of like phyllo doughy stuff. So essentially a shepherd's pie. You take all the fixings for a shepherd's pie, but then you wrap that up.
Hungry right now.
I know, right? You wrap the fillings for a shepherd's pie within the kind of like crust phyllo of a shepherd's pie. Of what a shepherd's pie would be, the crust. What would you call that?
Great idea for a food truck.
Isn't that a meat pie? Isn't that what they normally do?
Kind of, yeah, but it's wrapped though. It's wrapped up.
So in a tortilla?
No,
How
it would still be
the phyllo dough.
The phyllo dough would be wrapped in the same
What's
shape as a
phyllo
burrito.
dough then? I don't.
It's just the dough. It's just the dough for what
like
you would
pie
use
crust,
as a pie.
essentially,
Pie
right?
crust,
It is
exactly.
kind of.
Okay.
But instead of putting it in a pie crust, you literally fold it in the same way that you would a wrap or a burrito.
Oh yeah,
What would you instinctively call that?
well,
You heat it up, of course. You don't have to heat it up.
Well, no, like I was saying though, I think that is already a meat pie. I think that's like a common street food in Europe.
It sounds not a street pie. I'm saying that like
Street pie.
Is that a road apple?
I'm gonna go get some street
it's
pie.
it's wrapped up.
Oh, that sounds
Fine.
like
You know what?
Prozzy
Fucking
then.
put it in a fucking tortilla then. Put it in a tortilla.
How much for that street pie, baby?
Put it in a tortilla.
Yeah,
tortilla,
so
okay.
it's a tortilla.
Fine.
Yeah, I
we
think
know.
I think
I
it
was
has
trying to
be.
suggest that the phyllo dough was acting as the tortilla. You weren't baking it. You were just heating it up.
No, I understand. I still think a tortilla is inherent to the definition of burrito.
Yeah, I know you're a burrito truist. Like,
okay.
in your mind, there is no
I'm
wrap.
gonna try burrito.
Right. There's no such thing as a wrap in your mind.
No, there's a wrap. There's
What is a wrap then?
a wrap is something that has never been warm and usually is wrapped in a green tortilla. But no, it's
Okay. Well, we're back to the way I used to do this argument. Okay, so it's back. It has to be wrapped in a green tortilla.
no, that's just my
Okay.
condescending view of LA.
Vegans in LA
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly,
Okay, got
yeah.
it. Got it.
But no, if it's all about hot or cold. So if it's cold, it's a wrap.
But if you take all the fixings that we had for a carne asada burrito,
Mhm.
you never heated it up at all. You just wrapped it up. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
I mean,
What's the distinguishing factor? It's literally just a cold. Like you said, if
I
you never
said hot
heated
or
it up.
cold. And this gets back to my paying for cold sandwiches thing. Like,
No, sure. But what I'm saying
there's
is
a huge distinction
the
there
carne
in the
is-
effort.
the carne asada, right? Let's just say, for argument's sake, for the sake of the sake of this
The
philosophical
carne
argument,
asada has been cooked and cooled.
well, if you're okay with that, that's fine. But I was just going to say, let's just
Raw
say you
carne
could eat it.
asada?
Yeah, let's just say you were able to eat
Like a
raw carne
sushi type
asada
thing?
in that sense. Sure. Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. Okay. And
That
you
would be a
wrapped that up.
roll
That would be
then.
a wrap.
Well, if it's sushi, it's a roll.
No, it's still in a tortilla.
No, yeah, it's it would definitely be a wrap.
But it's the exact same fixings. It's the exact same fillings.
Right, but it's not heated.
But then how can you ever distinguish? So it's just the heating process that distinguishes the two?
If all other things being the same, yes. If we have the same tortilla and the same fillings,
That feels too vague to me because then again, that's still it. There's no way to distinguish it then.
whether it's more the
Like at that point, I wouldn't know what to ask you. Like if I asked you would you like a carne asada burrito,
Mhm.
right?
everyone knows what that is.
You're right. But if you said I would
I'm
like
a
it
simple
cold,
man, Sean.
if you said I would like it cold,
Purist.
Mhm.
why would I suddenly say it's a wrap?
Once it's tra, it's tra.
But I never heated it.
established
All
that.
I'm saying is
Oh,
like you're
no.
ordering it from a restaurant. You're
Right.
ordering it from me.
So if I wanted a burrito, I would ask for a burrito and wait for it to be cold. Once it is a burrito, then it's always a burrito. But if it was constructed as a cold sandwich, then it's a wrap.
I get that, but it's the exact same thing is happening. So it's the same. It's in other words, 1 = 2 philosophically for this. I don't
lost me.
understand the difference. Do you see what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay. We have, let's just say meat or carne asada. We have the carne asada stuff,
Mhm.
right? Wrapped it up.
Mhm.
You have to heat everything first, correct? You have to
heat the
cook
meat.
everything.
Most of the other stuff is cold, but
Right. You heat the meat
Mhm.
and then wrap it up and you give it to it. That's burrito.
Yeah.
That's fine. How can that ever be a wrap?
Never said it was.
Well, you did
That's
because you
burrito.
said if I was able to eat it raw, it would be a wrap. Like the carne asada fillings of it raw. If there was edible raw, it'd be a wrap.
Yeah.
And if you went to a restaurant, it would be. I guess it would vaguely work. It would just be the exact same fixings. Would be wrap versus a burrito.
Yeah, because when I think wrap, I think cold cuts. I think more sandwich fixings than burrito fixing. I think wrap is more Americanized, whereas burrito is more like
Sure.
Mexican food.
I got the answer here.
Oh, let's hear it, Mr.
Okay, maybe.
Look at the brain on Brett.
I do have an answer, by the way. I don't
I
think that
think
you're
it-
so. Just to answer Sean's question first. I'm sorry.
No,
and then you can go.
you're right. I shouldn't have jumped in there. Go
No,
ahead.
no, it's fine.
Answer
We
his
just didn't
question.
answer it yet. I guess it's vaguely fair. I would be willing to offer that as an okay. It's just that in that sense, it's more or less synonymous. Like if you're just saying it's just the heating process, I think it might sort of fall apart because again, you're still saying it's like once it becomes cold, it's still if you intended it if you order a burrito and it gets cold, it still remains a burrito. But if you order it a wrap, it's the same thing as the cold burrito. A wrap is equivalent to a cold burrito. It just means it was never heated. That's all.
Right.
So that's
right.
why it's tough. That's why it doesn't quite answer the question.
Well, no, because
to me.
it does change things because if there's cheese in there, that cheese becomes melted, and that's a different consistency. That's a different thing. It's like the difference between soup and
Sure, but then now you're adding elements of it so that they do seem different. And you're right, a cheesy carne asada wrap would definitely be different than a cheesy carne asada cold burrito.
Mhm.
But a just carne asada cold burrito, I fail to understand the difference between a cold carne asada burrito and a carne asada wrap.
intention, I guess, because
Which is fine.
you're-
It just means that they're synonymous. There's no difference. in
no,
that
there is a
sense.
difference because when you go to the
But I wouldn't know the intention. If I just approach a
my
carne asada burrito sitting there that
Mhm.
happens to be cold, I wouldn't know what to call that.
it's still a burrito because that's
How do
what
I know? I wouldn't know.
Because
It's just cold. It might have been intended as a cold. You know what I mean?
is the meat cooked or is it raw? When you cut the fucker open, is the meat cooked?
Can we try? Can we try tofu?
Well, tofu is still that's
I know it's
not meat,
gross.
but-
I'm just trying to clarify.
No, I'm not
what,
saying it's
what I
gross,
what
it's
I
just-
what I postulated was the idea between like the carne asada. There is no difference between it being cooked or raw. That's what
Yeah,
I was
no,
trying to
and-
say before. But I understand your point. All I'm saying is again, in our sense, if it was so, the meat has to be raw.
Yeah, I mean it's
But what about
It-
like turkey then? A turkey wrap is the same thing as a turkey burrito. 'Cause it's just cooked. It's been cooked before and processed.
right. No, it's I guess it's like the bread's been cooked, the tortilla's been cooked, but it's a process. It's the process at the time of creation of taking those ingredients and making it that wrap or making it that burrito.
Which is fair, but once again, I wouldn't know what to call it if I just approached it sitting on the table. I wouldn't have any idea.
Well, I mean, yes, on the outside, but if you would actually look at the meat inside, you would know that it was.
Not necessarily. Like a turkey, just a turkey?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. How would you know? It's been
if the
cooked.
turkey is cooked or if it's raw. Like
No,
I
there's
mean,
no raw turkey. I mean, like a cold cut turkey.
mhm.
Cold cut, like a turkey wrap.
Yeah,
A heated turkey wrap becomes a turkey burrito in your mind.
well, I mean, that's assuming that you're taking cold cuts and heating them.
That's what I'm
calling that a
saying, and they
burrito.
becomes a burrito.
That-
In your mind, in your definition,
Yeah,
that
certainly.
becomes a burrito.
But there is.
And then once it becomes cold, it becomes a wrap again. Don't you
There's-
see what I'm saying?
No, there's a visual difference. I mean, there is a difference between meat that's been
Okay,
cooked
here.
and meat that hasn't.
I know, but
I know. I'm just being a dick.
Which is great. No, it's important. It's important, and I love how I'm just biting on all this anyway. But the listeners are with me, I think.
No, they're not.
Really? Are you bored?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
bored.
sorry.
It's okay.
Fuck. All right.
They're
whatever.
tired of this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's fine.
Here's
let's move on.
what I think you had the answer before though.
I
Yeah.
did not. I thought I did.
Let me break down the
Go-
answer
I
for
wanna
you
hear
real
your
quick.
answer.
It'll be 2 seconds. It took me a long time to come to this because
Okay.
again, the philosophical. I wouldn't know.
Okay.
What I ended up
With
saying
a
was
knife,
that
you would.
anything. God damn it! You're gonna make me. You're so baby. Now I have to go back. I have to say it. I can't not say what I want to say.
You do what you do, man.
No, fuck it. Joey's bored.
no. I want you got to finish it.
I'm gonna finish it, but I was gonna go back to the other argument. Anything that was intended as a sandwich is typically eaten or intended as a sandwich would ultimately be a wrap. Hence why the Reuben wrap would be a wrap, right?
Okay.
Anything that would typically be intended on just a plate
Mm-hmm.
would be a burrito. Okay. So for example, we can say a turkey dinner, right?
Yep.
Turkey dinner, ultimately, it's all heated up, everything. It's the same fixings, blah, blah, blah. You take all the fixings for a turkey dinner or Thanksgiving dinner, and you put that in a tortilla. It just feels right that would be like a Thanksgiving burrito. Even though it seems weird to say, it feels like a Thanksgiving burrito.
I agree.
Whereas if you take all those same fixings afterwards, whether, cold, hot, heat them up in the microwave, whatever, it doesn't really make a difference.
Mhm.
Afterwards, you usually, at the end of turkey dinner, you make those sandwiches, right? Like your second meal at the end of the day.
Of course.
All that stuff, if you take all that stuff, wrap it in there, it's a wrap. It would be usually intended as a sandwich. The first part is usually intended to plate. Hence why I said the shepherd's pie is a burrito rather than a wrap. A Reuben, although heated, is a wrap rather than a burrito because it's a sandwich. So if
Okay.
something would normally be a sandwich, it's a wrap. If something would normally be just on a plate by itself, it's a burrito.
Okay.
Fairly acceptable.
That was the
close.
most philosophically sound. Look, if you have a better answer, email me at politinkering@gmail.com.
What about?
By all means, because
Oh,
it took me
no,
a very
I was-
long time to come to
God,
that.
okay, I
And
have
Sean
an argument
O'Brien
here.
is
I'm
more
not.
than willing
I
to
don't
debate
want to.
this
I
with
don't
you.
want to start this.
Look,
No. I'm not gonna. I'm
like
gonna
I
move on.
said, this
I'm gonna move on.
episode can either be 15 minutes or 3 hours long because the question is, what do words mean? But in the larger sense is, what do words mean, man?
What does specifically sandwich mean, and what does specifically a wrap and burrito mean?
I've already defined all of those things for you.
We'd have. That's what
Okay.
I mean. Now, oh, totally. Let's move
Okay.
on to other words.
What would you like to move on to? Go ahead. Take us wherever you want to take us.
What was the other part about? I guess we were talking about expressing ourselves, but
Marry, marry, and marry.
oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll always bring you. Don't worry. I got you back.
I know. Thank God you're organized.
I'm not at all, man.
Compared to
But
these
thank
two,
you.
Yeah.
you're.
You write things down
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just know
yeah.
what they mean.
Right.
I'll do one or the other.
Here's the problem. If I say marry, married,
Mary.
merrily,
Merrily. Yeah.
it might be confusing for someone. It would take time for them to unpack exactly what I said. Whereas if I said marry, married, merrily, it's a little bit easier. That's the argument for why you express things that are spelled differently.
Bam.
Oh, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're wrong.
There is no way you can argue with that. That is
No,
exact-
it's sound logic. The words just don't sound right to me.
What do you mean?
The way he pronounces them
They
is
don't
the way they
sound
pronounce them.
right.
it might just be a Chicago accent thing. Or
Yeah, it's
it
just
might
an accent.
Be, yeah.
So say all those words in different sentences.
Marry,
Let's.
merrily.
Yeah. So what is it? I once knew a girl named Mary. I saw my friends get married. I had a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, but those are all within context.
Yeah.
Right, I thought that's what you wanted.
No.
Mary married merrily. That's
Yeah,
it's-
But you
already
said
had
them differently there, didn't you?
I don't think so.
I think he
it.
did.
A little bit, but
did.
it was probably just
Well,
because I said it.
There
One
were
more
different.
time. One
There
more
were
time.
different tenses of the words.
One more
though.
time.
So to try and do it all as the same, I knew a girl named Mary. I had a Merry Christmas.
No, just
Do
marry,
it one more
married,
time.
merrily.
Mary married merrily.
Mary merrily. Merrily?
Merrily, yeah. Like merrily.
Mary
merrily, right.
married merrily.
Mary married merrily.
Yeah, you copied me. That was good.
He didn't copy you at all. He actually specifically
No.
tried not to.
He
I think the first time he might have.
He used a little bit more. Okay.
Maybe.
Mary married merrily.
I can copy you.
Yeah, it
That
doesn't
is-
matter.
That's a
It
skill
seems-
that
I
do
want to
have.
see you do it though, just normally. I want to see,
Like the
with
way
a-
that
Why?
you-
He just
I want to see if I reflexively can make him say it.
Oh, Mary married merrily.
He actually can't. You're still
You
saying
can't
it. Yeah,
do
you're
it.
still
The
doing
the
it.
last one was
That's
bad.
kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That was an over enunciation. All right.
That's
so
cool. That's good.
My improv
Interesting.
training did not pay off.
I was
Fuck you
trying
all.
to see if I could just keep saying it and I could just get him to do it like a dog.
Oh, eventually, yeah. I mean,
That's
isn't
pretty
that how you
evil.
learn any word?
Right, yeah, I was teaching.
And the better question is, what do they mean?
Condescending asshole.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
What I do
so
best.
what? I'm not sure what your argument for them. So you don't have an argument for why they do sound the same, other than the fact that to you they sound the same because of
Yeah,
your
no,
accent.
I've just always said them the same.
So then, why is aluminium any worse than aluminum?
Because it's just offensive.
Oh,
to
I
the
guess
ear
because
holes.
again, it's the way you
Yeah.
because no matter what, it's the way you said it.
That's
Yeah.
offensive. I think it sounds sweet.
But wouldn't it,
aluminium.
but here's the problem.
Aluminium.
It sounds trippy and not in a drug sense, but like in a clumsy sense.
So
It's.
I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's all I had.
Sorry, but
It's sort of
the problem with the argument is that it is now applicable to everybody who can make it. So in other words, the British person would have the exact same validity to their claim by saying aluminum is stupid to say than aluminium.
Oh, I agree with that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. No, just our society has.
So neither is right or wrong, though.
Oh no, that's the thing.
So, Sean,
nothing is right or wrong in my world.
Okay, that's fine. Good.
Do you
Then
guys
that's okay.
think people from the UK sound in general smarter or dumber, or
Yeah.
the same?
Most people say they sound smart.
What do you guys say?
Yeah, definitely smarter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Australia, that's a little different. But
South
New
Africa?
Zealand is the worst. South Africa is
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
Do you think that's dumber?
Not dumber. It's just the worst.
it has that. It has that kind of.
I don't know. It sounds so horrible to say. I can't stand the South African accent.
I have family from South Africa.
Do you
so-
really?
No, I have very little.
I wouldn't care.
I don't. I'm just kidding.
I would just.
shit.
To me, it has the same connotation as the Southern States accent. So it's got that sort of association with racism and ingrained sort of
Perhaps, yeah.
intolerance that makes it seem less educated.
Which, by the way, is actually closer to the original, dialect of America.
What, South Africa?
Southern accent. The
Oh,
southern
Southern
accent was closer
Oh
to
yeah,
the original.
yeah. That seems a little bit
That's
more.
that's closest to. I feel like there's an either an island or like a city in Virginia that still basically maintains the colonial accent of like what the first Americans.
Oh.
Wait,
had.
whoa.
Isn't that weird?
Are you
No,
talking
no,
like
no,
one of
no,
those
no,
little?
no.
We have to look
novelty
it up. Yeah,
towns?
more or less.
Seriously?
It's not a novelty town, but it's
You're
something
talking
in
about
Virginia.
Colonial Williamsburg.
Yeah, that's what I was
No,
thinking.
no. There's a place that's still the same. They've never changed.
I don't think
There
so.
is.
They're
Sean.
not actors at all. You guys, it's amazing.
There is. It's.
I'm gonna look this up. Hold
I
on.
saw a clip of it at some point. There's just it's like a weird crass video of these people talking on like a porch. Yeah, anyway, but look it up. But I believe the Southern accent is as close to the I think it might have been on Cracks.
How do I Google this?
Virginia.
Virginia Old English?
No, I wouldn't. No, don't do Old
Yeah,
English.
Old English is something
Virginia colonial dialect,
Hmm.
something like that.
As far as I understand it, the traditional American accent, or what we think of now as the TV accent.
You are
is like-
correct, sir. Here it is. I think. Okay.
Mhm.
At least I think is what you're referring to. Tangier, Virginia,
Yes.
is a town in Accomack County, Virginia, United States, on the Tangier Island in Chesapeake Bay. You're right. It's on the Chesapeake Bay. The population was 727. The majority of the original settlers from southwest England, and the tiny island community has attracted the attention of linguists because its people speak a unique English Restoration era dialect of American English. Most of Tangier Island is listed on the National Registry of Historic Places.
Oh, it's an island.
An
Okay,
island. In the Chesapeake.
I wanted to
and
say
the
it was an
Chesapeake
island,
Bay.
but I wasn't
Yeah.
100% sure. Okay, cool.
that makes it possible.
Yeah.
Isolation is always the key to those
Yeah.
developments.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
like genetics.
Yeah, evolution is language is much like evolution.
Exactly.
Evolution, please.
Really?
Continue, Sean. What were you saying?
I am not come from monkeys. I have no idea what I was saying. That doesn't pertain to anything.
It doesn't register. I don't know.
Well, I guess here's the thing: is it if it is just a shared dialect, and it obviously is just changeable and evolutionarily based in a way. How much can it evolve? I mean, is there a certain point at which you are wrong for just simply speaking your own language that you've invented, that you've come up with these all awesome words, and yet they just haven't caught on?
Hey, in the wind.
I was going to make this
Chicken
point
pie.
earlier about pop. I think that eventually it will die out. I think
Sure.
for that reason that Sean said. At least-
Shame.
Yeah, shame. Exactly.
Well, I guess the point is that ought it die out?
Well, no,
Yeah.
the mass media is going to consolidate language as it's continued to do.
I think language is very much a meritocracy.
I mean, I know
we
it will,
choose what we like to we like talk about.
Yeah,
I
and
know
it-
that
We
it
choose
will.
the words we want to say.
Is that a good thing though? Because we're ultimately losing the meaning for words.
No, we're
We're gaining a lot of new
yeah,
words too.
I mean, to me,
Well, that's fine, but then by the same end, there's people who don't understand that word to mean something else.
yeah, and language is a constant evolution. I think it has to be.
Stuff's
Uh,
dying, stuff's growing.
yeah, and that's kind of my rant against the dictionary.
Why should stuff die though? That's what I'm saying. No, I don't know. Why is it a good thing that words would die? Sure, I was actually, to be honest with you, I was talking about newer words, just somebody speaking with these bizarre, sounds.
OMG?
I think you're a
I guess,
language.
yeah,
you're
sure.
a language conservative. I think.
Conservationist.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think you are.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Sean. Sorry.
No, I just, like I said, I think that language is constantly evolving, and I don't think that words necessarily die. They just fall from current usage.
Mhm.
And so, especially with the rise in media, ever since the printing press, it's
Mhm.
been a constant evolution to a specific set of words,
Sure.
and whatever is in the common lexicon is going to continue to flourish, but that is always going to change, and it's a generational thing. Slang is one of those things that really separates children from their parents. That's kind of a common theme throughout most of Americana.
Something cool just occurred to me.
Hmm.
And I don't. Maybe it's more a throwback than anything. But what if the evolution of language actually ends up becoming the case that every word you say, not so much that it can mean two different things, it's just that we start to use language in such a way that it does mean two different things simultaneously. And that's the way that we start to speak, is that everything we say actually does have a double meaning.
You-
Everything you say.
George Orwell, double speak.
No, not double speak. Not double speak in a sense of like you mean
That's
something
interesting.
else. I just mean that we start to communicate in such a way that there is this underlay or
That
subtext.
would require a big leap in brain power.
No, not
well, that's what I
brain-
mean. Over
education.
time, but yeah,
Over
but it's
time,
also both.
It's
I mean,
possible.
It's both.
It's possible.
It's like if it's like put that in the box, everybody just automatically gets the joke and
I'll tell you what.
understands it
I'll
simultaneously.
tell you what I think is possible. Actually, I think a more dolphin-esque echolocation type of stuff.
Okay.
We might be able to hear ultrasound type of stuff, and we might be able to speak on different frequency ranges. So we might be able to say one note, I guess, or one word at two frequencies. Okay, maybe I'm losing you here.
No,
but
no,
I'm
I
saying
think that's just way outside of what he was going for.
maybe that's true.
Yeah, that well, not so much
But
what
I'm
I'm going
saying-
for. It's that's much less evolutionarily possible.
Why?
Than,
I think that's something that occurs in the natural world that we could.
It's not
adopt.
that, well, sure,
Yeah.
but so does
I know it's
so does
insane.
understanding double. Like the idea of our ears being able to detect something else would take an interesting mutation, whereas whereas our brains
You're
just
true,
being able
you're
to
right.
act, just
I-
evolving in the same way that it already
I was
is.
simply grabbing at what dolphins
You just
and
want
whales
you just want to
do.
be a dolphin, so you can understand. You just want to hear.
I saw that South
You
Park.
just want to hear different
Exactly.
things.
You caught me, motherfucker. God. Yeah, I secretly want to be a whale. I'm sorry.
But you do bring up an interesting point that we should sort of explore. As far as I think you know what I'm talking about. I just want to explain or clarify, make sure I'm making myself clear. is
I do,
that
I
the-
do.
Yeah, the way evolution works is not so much that like it's
We
we
get
don't
to-
choose a priori.
It's not supply
I
and
know,
demand.
Oh, we did talk about that. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah, we-
certainly.
Right, never mind. So cool. So yeah, it's not like we choose what we want. It's just that it
I mean, I will choose what I want.
Well, and that might be the next evolutionary step where you can design your children.
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Why
pick
can't we
those things?
use
But
genetics?
as far as the evolution of language, it's something that is organic. I mean, it's something that is going to change, but to a larger extent, it could be said that we are already doing that thing where language means more than one thing
Mhm.
when we take into account body language and micro facial expressions and all of the other sort of communication that goes along with language. You're possibly saying two different things
Yes.
or two concepts
But
at the
that's-
same time.
Yeah, but I don't mean I still don't mean that. I still,
Yeah, no, you're
that's-
talking about
okay.
the sort of learned conversation of being able to say one thing and have it mean a bunch of things at the
Yes,
same time.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You're
and-
right. I understand that like body language and all that exists already, but that's different. That still
know-
has to do with the way things are expressed rather than the actual, because the whole point is what the words mean. And my question is, what if all words mean 2, 3, 5 different things simultaneously?
If anything's going to take us there, it's Twitter.
Do you think?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And all of a sudden,
Really?
and all this, yeah, that's a good point.
I think
and
it's
all of
the
a sudden-
opposite. I think it's going to dumb us down.
No, it's possible. But what I'm saying is
Sure.
that a system like Twitter makes it so that you are so confined as to use your words very carefully. So if you can construct a tweet that has multiple meanings within that same tweet,
Right.
it is a higher level of communication.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
s-
that's
I
and the
see
question is, what's the
that
next? What
point.
was
That's
the
his
next
whole
evolution of
Shakespeare bullshit about
Precisely.
But I
that's
think the
essentially,
overall
yeah.
number of people who will do that is going to go exponentially down.
I think it's been drastically decreasing, but then again, my
But it could
only
increase over time. That's
well,
what I'm saying.
and,
Oh,
and
I think unfortunately. Okay,
the-
go ahead.
the big point I always try and make in these sort of arguments is that our view of what they did in the past is based on the cream that rose to the top. So, we think of, the past and Shakespeare and those guys being able to speak eloquently with that, the multiple meanings in every word that they say, but that was most likely the exception of the time. That wasn't necessarily the norm. And that's why those things have lasted. And that's why those things have carried on that meaning going forward. I don't necessarily think that we are dumber as a species. I think
No,
that
we empirically, aren't
um,
dumber as a species at all.
no, I mean, I don't think that they were dumber as a species.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
You don't think that, but okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we
They weren't a different species.
I-
This is like 500 years. There's no.
That's
there's
what
not
I
a
mean.
huge
I don't
difference.
think that we have gotten smarter as a
No way.
species, is what I'm saying.
Not at all.
Yeah. So I think that the people that lived in Shakespeare's time were just as smart as us. And, there were some people that were smarter that were able to accomplish those levels. But I think it's that same thing of that nostalgia of childhood that we always look back to those times and view them as better.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, Shakespeare's, if we're going to go Shakespeare, the intent of a lot of his work was just for the groundlings, the guys who were standing there for 3 hours.
Mhm.
So those multiple meaning jokes half the time were dirty puns.
Mhm.
So they were just dirty puns. We could just do Hamlet again.
Right, but he was-
may I lay may I
Okay,
lay,
so he was
may I lay
playing.
upon
He
your
was
lap.
playing to the lowest brow.
What, my lord? And he goes, I mean, my head upon your lap. He goes, what? Did you think I meant country matters? Cunts. The word cunts obviously existed back then.
Yeah.
Nothing, right? So it's such a fair thing to lie between a maid's legs. What? No thing. Nothing between. So you're assuming these are all dirty sex jokes.
No, and I'm not saying that
Okay.
it's not received. I'm saying that message is made by a true craftsman. That not the rest
Oh,
of those
sure.
people.
No, the rest of the people couldn't do that.
Exactly.
Of course
and,
not.
And that's what I'm saying now. I don't think the percentage is that much different now.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's Another politinkering agreement.
Nah.
It's a classic for a reason.
Well, so then, do words all mean the same thing then, or are they always going to be the same? Or I mean, what do words mean? Did we answer that question?
Well, I mean, are we going to allow it to change over time? Is that something that we should fight against?
I don't think we can allow it one way or the other. I mean, words find a way.
Yeah, it's a natural evolutionary thing. I
It
think.
is.
We
Well,
can't.
I mean, there are certainly facts.
On
I mean,
fleek, man.
well, yeah, and then like I say, the creation of a dictionary in and of itself starts to solidify those things.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
So-
forgot to say something very interesting,
Yeah.
which was fun. And then this might be the end anyway. Unless you were going to say something else. Sorry. Your favorite letter was the scarlet letter A.
Oh,
Joey, what's
I-
your favorite letter?
Jay. That sounds very narcissistic.
I was going to say, why is that your favorite
Because it's
letter?
the first,
first
letter
letter
he
of his
learned to
name.
write.
I know that it's wait, but that's really why? You have no other reason for why?
I
that's
would just pick the first letter that came to my brain.
Oh, okay.
I'm
My
gonna-
argument for that is that it's literally the first letter he would have learned to write, because like the first thing you're taught to
Is your
read
name.
and write is your name,
That's
and
true.
you start. At
Although the first
beginning.
word you want to say is either mom or dad, usually.
Yeah, but that's not usually the first thing you're taught to write.
I understand.
You know-
So hence the letter, what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would know. I
when I was
Exactly.
a kid, they used to ask me my favorite animal. My instinct was to say jaguar because of the J as well.
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
Uh,
What's your favorite Hebrew letter?
Wow. It would actually be different. It would be a lamed. I like the way
A lamed?
I like to spell. Actually, honestly, the first letter of my name in cursive Hebrew is the fucking shit.
You
It
right?
is the coolest fucking name I have.
This is going to be very interesting. You write it, and then I'll try to
hold on.
describe it. Okay, so it almost looks
Actually,
like
I'm sorry. It's the last letter of my name. I apologize.
Oh.
It's the. It's called a Fau-Burnitz. It's in Hebrew that when you have a final letter, it actually changes to a capital.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
So here's my Fau-Burnitz. It's the last letter of that word right there.
Hang on, what?
The last letter. It's this one right.
I don't know which one of these are letters.
I'm sorry. Damn it.
Why don't you just describe it?
It just looks like this really pretty, like cursive note. It looks like a musical note that has like an extra tail to it, almost like that.
Okay, it looks like a 3-leaf clover.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a penis.
Okay, let me draw it.
Oh, I see. So if
It looks like a musical note with an extra little side to it.
I got you, but it's read this way. It's read like this.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So it almost looks like a bow and arrow, or like a quiver, a bow and arrow quiver.
Look up a
face.
Fau-Burnitz.
Yeah, I don't know if people can know how to spell that.
Oh yeah, shit.
Can you try?
Fei, F-E-I maybe.
yeah.
Fau-Burnitz. Sophite is like the final letter of
Okay.
it.
Before we get too before
It's a fancy
before
A
too many
turned on
people
its side.
before too many people tune out.
They're already tuned.
When they might be the English language did not always have 26 letters. It used to have 27. You guys know that?
What happened to it?
The 27th was Paul.
No, it'd really be.
This was the 27th letter. I fucking can't.
And
the ampersand.
You-
The ampersand
Mhm.
was the 27th letter.
Wow,
This used to come after Z.
like very
So-
similar to what I just drew, by the way.
The way I know that's really true.
is
That's
weird.
true. That's a good point. It used to. So it the way
was
the
it not
ampersand
punctuate?
evolved.
Okay.
Well, the way it evolved was it used to be. So it means per se. Per se.
Oh.
I'm sorry. No. Well, it just means and. It literally used to specify this as and.
Mhm.
But what happened was at the end of the X Y Z and per se and is how you would pronounce it. Per se means like within itself. You know what I mean? Like per se, the phrase per se. And so at the end of the alphabet, that's what kids would say. It's like, W, X, Y, Z, and percent. Or and per se sand, which ultimately got kind of, homogenized into ampersand.
Weird.
Isn't that cool? But the ampersand.
So it wasn't
is
a
one of the-
sound.
You're
It
right.
was like it wasn't a.
The sound was
part-
like and, but it was more of a symbol than anything.
So like, was it used phonetically? Like in the middle of a word, you would have that.
No, it was just used to tie. It was used in the same way that it is used as an and.
Okay, gotcha.
To
So
tie two ideas
it was
together.
always internal or
Yes.
only its only thing.
Yeah, it was a symbol. It was its own symbol, but the symbol itself was used to
considered part
join
of the
things.
alphabet.
Rather, exactly. It was
Weird.
used as a conjoining piece. The symbol that joined all the letters together, or any letter together,
Gotcha.
in and of itself.
Et.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I
isn't that
didn't
cool?
realize
Et
that.
is French.
Etc.
Exactly.
Mm,
Which is Latin though.
yeah, whatever.
So my favorite letter is the ampersand.
Cheater.
I know. I love the ampersand.
I
man.
like me some
Yeah, that
Zed.
doesn't count, dude. Yeah, you're like you picked the 20s.
I mean,
That's like saying George Martin is my favorite Beatle.
I mean, okay. George Martin, rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
I apologize.
that's
topical.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fine. I mean, so I guess an S.
So
Perfect.
since we're on the ampersand, do you guys know the story of the QWERTY keyboard?
The QWERTY keyboard?
QWERTY keyboard. I
QWERTY
slurred a
keyboard.
little bit there.
Oh, it sounds familiar.
It's a bird. It's specific. It's
Well,
an
you know what
exotic
the
bird.
QWERTY keyboard is, correct? This fucking thing right here.
Yeah, the keyboard that we're using.
QWERTY
right. Oh,
keyboard.
yes, got it.
Spells
Yes,
QWERTY
of
up
course,
at the
QWERTY.
top.
Yes, now I understand.
Do you guys know why those letters are in that order?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I looked it up once. I don't remember.
I thought the reasoning was that like there's certain letters that we use more often that they put towards the middle.
Yes,
Is that true?
I believe so.
It has something to do with that, but it's completely antithetical to what you would, or the reasoning you would think. The QWERTY keyboard is designed to be the most cumbersome collection or organization of letters humanly possible, because it comes from typewriters, and the problem that they were having is when they organized the keys in a way that made typing faster, they made it too fast for the arms, and they would all get jammed up into the typewriter. So they kept changing and changing and changing the keyboard construction to make it harder and harder to type. So if you look at the keyboard, the letters that you use most often are on your least dominant fingers. The letters that you use most
Interesting.
often, or I'm sorry, the letters that you use least often are on your most dominant fingers if you're
That's
typing
exactly right. by the way.
normally with the
Don't really
home
notice
key
it.
sort of system, which is why I'm still a hunting pecker. But yeah, just something that
All I ever write is tutu all the time. That's all I ever write anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's the only thing I ever write. I don't know.
You're the
man.
best writer ever.
It's
right on. Just my little rant about keyboards.
cool. QWERTY keyboard.
Though. Yeah.
QWERTY.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to end this episode.
No. I don't
Who
know,
started
man.
this episode?
I think I did. I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
When the politicians keep politicking before you turn to excessive drinking. Spend some time collectively politinkering with the show where I don't know, man. 'Cause the truth is I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Fuck your QWERTY.
And per se and.
Et
Face
tu,
Sophie.
Brute?
Face Sophie. Face Sophie.